did it, y'all. We made it to the final position to talk about in this draft class. And it's the most important position of sports, quarterback. Now, is this a one quarterback class? Is Ty Simpson actually quarterback one? And Dan Orlovsky is right and everyone else is wrong. Are there more names that we should really be talking about? Is this class not getting enough hype? Or is it really as bad as people say? My name is Dirty D from Dirty T. This is the Punk Rock NFL Draft. We're talking quarterbacks today, and I'm going to talk more in depth about more prospects than any other class and any other position in the class that we've talked about. I'm going to give you six profiles. As I'm going to give you just about two of everything. At least I'm going to give you like two guys that I both really like and I think are underrated, two overrated guys, and two kind of like high upside, interesting, X factor swing and miss guys. In this class, there's a reason we're talking about this position last in this draft class, and it's because I think it's the weakest one of all of them. It gets really dicey after two, and even two, we got to have a conversation here. If you want to know more in depth about how I feel about these players, if you want to see my rankings, I'll be having the top 5 come out, evals on my Patreon. That's available on my Patreon for $5. I'll give you my draft guide that I'm still completing, but I have almost all the rankings done. So there's a lot of really good stuff to see there. I'll also do, if you want some extra content, I'll do extra content as well for you there on my Patreon. But if you want to subscribe, if you want to support the channel for free, just like and subscribe. It really helps me out. We're going to get into the top 10 of my quarterback rankings here and talk a little bit about these prospects. At number 10, I have Cole Payton out of North Dakota State University. I don't know that I think he's a true quarterback in the league. There's a lot of the quarterback stuff I don't think he does well. I didn't think his arm was as good as I wanted to be, but some of that might just be the release, like his throwing motion. And if he got to change his throwing motion, which you probably want to, that's going to take him even more time to develop. So I think he's going to be a guy that needs a long runway to develop. Might give you a lot of value, though, is like that Taysom Hill guy, because he's got the size to be that Taysom Hill guy. He's got the athleticism for sure. He's a tough guy. I think it's going to take him a lot of time. Carson Beck is my number 9 quarterback in the class out of Miami. Luke Altmaier, number 8 out of Illinois. Drew Aller, number 7 out of Penn State. Taylon Green, number 6 out of Arkansas. Ethan Kaliakmanis is my number 5 guy out of Rutgers. Got Cade Klubnik coming in at 4 out of Clemson. And then Garrett Nussmeier out of LSU is my number 3 guy. Garrett Nussmeier is a guy that, coming into the year, everyone thought could easily be the number 1 overall pick. And then he had a rough year. It was just a bad year. He got hurt. A lot of people blamed the injury. He looked pretty good at the Senior Bowl. But I just think that the truth revealed itself. And honestly, before the year, I felt the same about Garrett Nussmeier the whole time. I've not wavered on my feelings of Garrett Nussmeier, which is that I just don't think he measured at 6'2", so okay, measured actually big, taller than I thought he was going to be, but a 6'2", 200-pound quarterback that isn't super mobile or athletic and has probably like an average arm, maybe above average. I think average to above average, but probably closer to an average arm that everyone talks about, like, oh, he's son of a quarterback coach, and his dad's a coach, and yeah, but dude, he is so risky with the football. I have a lot of concerns about him, and also he doesn't have the physical gifts to get away with if something is wrong. If he does have an injury, he all of a sudden just looks just unplayable. But I think he is probably going to be a really good backup quarterback, and I can easily see him being a Gardner Minshew type of guy that is a risk taker and is pretty accurate, so can come in a pinch and win you some games if he has to play for half the season. I just don't think he's ever going to be a starting quarterback, and that's our number 3 guy. Sorry, Dan. There's no world where Ty Simpson is the number 1 quarterback in this class. Ty Simpson, to me, I have him at number 2, but I have a right on the edge of end of the second, top of the third grade on Simpson. And for me, he is the perfect low end starter, high end backup type of player. And it's all the reasons that Dano said he's his favorite because, yeah, he is good at. You've seen him do NFL things. He knows how to do NFL things. He's well schooled. He's well coached. The starts are definitely a concern. The lack of starts, especially, there's a reason. The data on that shows why it doesn't work. It just doesn't typically work unless you're an absolute fucking alien like Cam Newton. And even then, it only worked until his, he didn't have the physical ability anymore. But he's good. He does NFL stuff. He works the intermediate part of the field well. But he's bad under pressure and he doesn't have the physical skills he doesn't have the physical tools. He's athletic enough. There's a world where he does end up being a good starting quarterback, but this profile of quarterback usually is a low end starter, good backup. And that's how I see him. And 6'1", 211, maybe slightly above average arm. Accuracy isn't as clean as you want it to be. There's times where it's good. I see him, and I like him obviously more than Garrett Nussmeier, but I think he's the type of guy that, hey, maybe he builds his accuracy and his anticipation to being really good and takes his next step of being a true first round prospect, or if he played another year of college football, the truth reveals itself, and after another 12 to 15 starts, we go similar to what we did with Garrett Nussmeier. And 13 starts of Garrett Nussmeier, he was the number 1 pick. You added another, didn't even get through a full season, and you go, no, he's a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick. To me, a 4th round pick, right? I think that's where you end up with Ty Simpson, where after 15 starts, you go, okay, he's a first round quarterback. If you added another 15, I think you go, all right, no, he's maybe a top of the third, end of the second round quarterback. And I think the pressure is how much he struggles under pressure is a really big concern for me. And I just think he sees ghosts. He gets happy feet. He tries to cash checks. His arm just can't. He writes checks. His arm can't cash. When he's late, he panics too much. And my biggest concern with Ty Simpson is when things go bad, they snowball. He's good when everything's going good. When things are going bad, he struggles. And it's why Fernando Mendoza is clearly the number 1 guy in this class. And Mendoza, if you want to have the conversation that he's not a true elite quarterback prospect, sure. I think he's still worth a top 10 pick in any class, and that makes him worth the number one overall pick in this class. He's not first round top 10 worthy quarterback. I don't think he's as good as Cam Ward. I don't even think. I mean, maybe he can develop into this guy, but I don't think he's gonna within the first 5 years. I wouldn't profile him as a guy that I would expect to put up crazy numbers. I don't know that he's that type of quarterback. I think he's more like Goff is the comp, but I think what makes him good is he's more of that. He's going to produce more like a when Daniel Jones produces well, but he's going to produce more like I think better than Jalen Hurts. But that's the X factor. He has that. Say what you want about Jalen Hurts, he wins football games. He wins the close games, and I think more so how I'm not copying him to Tom Brady, but Tom Brady before he became a guy that put up good stats and was just a clutch winning playing big in the big moments quarterback. Early in his career, he was we have a good defense, we ride the running game. I'm putting up less than 3,000 yards a year, and I'm not putting up crazy, I'm not putting high end numbers. But I'm winning the 20-17 games, and that's Fernando Mendoza. He's going to win the 24-21s, the 20-17, the 17-14. He's going to win those games. Those are the games. If you keep the game close, he's not going to make the mistakes that are going to put you in a hole. He's going to be smart with the ball, and when he does make mistakes, he's going to make up for it. He's going to come back with a vengeance. He's the opposite, as opposed to like Ty Simpson. Something bad things start happening, and it snowballs. Fernando Mendoza, something bad happens, and he comes back and he makes up for it, and then you want the ball in his hands on third downs. You want the ball in his hands in the red zone. You want the ball in his hands on fourth downs. In the fourth quarter, that's where he's at his best, and that's what makes him clearly the number one overall pick this year, and clearly the number one quarterback in this class. I do my favorite and most underrated player, by the way, in this class. Obviously favorite other than Mendoza. And I'm not saying I think this guy is a future starting quarterback, but Ethan Kaliakmanis out of Rutgers is sneaky good. And if you look at the grades and if you watch the tape this year especially, um, my comp for him is I think a better moving Aiden O'Connell. I don't. He's like ran like a 4.84 or something, but I just think he's a little more fluid of an athlete than Aiden. But that's still not his game. He's not an athletic quarterback. About the same size, 6'3", 216. So it's like adequate. I think he has an above average arm. I think he's above average to good accuracy. Uh, this is the guy that just profiles as a really, really good backup quarterback that can maybe we'll start some games, and not just start some games, but have some good games. Like Aiden O'Connell has had some good games. Now he's had some bad and below average games for sure. And I think if I were to rank Aiden O'Connell of every quarterback in the league, I'm probably ranking him somewhere between 32 and like 45, probably closer to 40, 45. But hey, that still there's like tiers of quarterbacks, and if he's your backup quarterback, especially if you're a team that is very quarterback friendly, I absolutely think he can be the type of guy that can put up some numbers for you. He'd be great. Put him in LA. Of course, everyone wants to go to LA, but goes to the if he goes to LA, if he goes to Minnesota, if he goes to even teams like the Browns, the Falcons. I love Michael Penix still. I hope he develops, but I think that franchise looks like it's Like, he's probably going to be better for his second team than his first team. But, like, someone like the Browns, playing somewhere like that, being a backup somewhere that is quarterback friendly, or just somewhere that needs to, I would love to spend a seventh on him for the Raiders. But I have more of like a fourth round grade on him, fifth round grade on Kaliakmanis. I think he's my favorite backup quarterback profile that I think can have some moments in the NFL as a starter. I also, in that same vein, I really like Luke Allmeyer, Illinois, or as to say in the NFL Stock Exchange, Goat Meyer. Um, smaller. He's built like Ty Simpson. Average arm strength. I think similar athlete to Ty Simpson. Smaller hands. Um, but he plays the position really well, really smart, really reliable. I think he would be a great back. He's going to be a good backup quarterback, and I think he sticks around in this league for quite some time as a backup. Doesn't have the physical tools to be like a starter, but he's going to be a backup for a long time in this league. Really like how he profiles in that way. I like him, and I like Kaliakmanis and a lot of these quarterbacks as backups way more. I don't like Carson Beck. I think Carson Beck. I don't like the arm strength. I think the size is good, and I do think he profiles as a guy that can be a good backup. But he's a guy you bring in if everything's on time. If you're running shorter intermediate stuff, he can do all that stuff. He has good size, not very athletic. He has good size, doesn't have very good arm. But I don't want my backup quarterback being a noodle armed quarterback with like character and personality issues. Like calling out his receivers on the podium, blaming his teammates, blaming his receivers, blaming his offensive line, the weird stuff with the car. I mean, hey, good on you. Cool, he's dating the porn star, but like here, your backup quarterback is doing all this flashy stuff and like blaming teammates and blaming the coaching staff and you know like I don't want that from my backup quarterback. My noodle armed backup quarterback doesn't have a strong arm. He my comp for him is um, Mike White with personality problems, and I love Mike White. But there's a reason Mike White is like a fringe quarterback three, quarterback two. He's had time where he was a good quarterback two. He's had a couple good games, but like that's Carson Beck, but with personality problems. Um, so I'm a lot lower on Carson Beck, and then um, and he's like if you look across the board, there's not really anywhere other than maybe adjusted completion percentage, and then his frame. But if you look at the analytics, there's nowhere where he's like good. He's kind of like average below average across all of the like his intermediate grade, his deep grade is honestly like pretty low, like really low. His no pressure grade is below average. His pressure grade is below average. It's just his time to throw is pretty decent, but again, he's a backup quarterback, but with personality problems. I don't like that. Um, Another guy I'm much lower on than a lot of people is Drew Aller, and it's funny. I feel like I want to give Todd McShay his flowers on this one. Todd McShay has for a long time been low on Drew Aller, and I remember during the season, McShay was like, "The tape is like a sixth-round player," and Steve Mensch, his co-host, was like kind of agreeing with him, and they made a joke about like we get to draft season, someone's just gonna fall in love with the tools and talk themselves into it. And now on their show, I watched a clip from their show where um, they're talking quarterbacks, and McShay's like, I'm just really low on Drew Aller. And Mensch is like, oh, well, I actually think he's better than you give him credit for. Like, it literally on their show, it happened. One of the guys is like, nah, he sucks. And at first, the other guy was like, I agree. And then get close to the draft, and the other guy literally does what they joked would happen. Oh, actually, maybe you could, I can fix him. Like, he's the toxic boyfriend of the quarterback class. Um, I can fix him. When you watch him on tape, he's big. He moves better than big guys should move, but I still think he looks slow, and I don't think that translates to the NFL. There's nothing I see that translates to the NFL other than how big he is. And, okay, he has some good anticipation. He reads defenses well. He doesn't turn the ball over. You like those things. He's good running the ball in short yardage situations. He can break tackles. You like those things. But the passing grades are so low for a reason. And I really think he can't throw to people running away from him. He struggles so much. One of the his deep passing grade is like in the very low percentile, and it's because he can't throw to people running away from him. The only throws I saw him make that were good were stop routes and intermediate routes where people are coming back to him. That's where he can throw. He cannot throw to anyone running away from him. He cannot throw the outside the number throws accurately because he just cannot throw to people going away. And you have to be able to do that as a quarterback. I don't know that you can teach that. He has a strong arm, but there's a reason he doesn't get the ball to people deep. He can't accurately throw that. It's scattershot. He looks the part, and you like he's got like he's a smart kid. He's a good dude. He's got the intangibles. I just don't think he can be accurate. I don't think it's gonna get better. I don't think you're gonna fix that. And even the movement stuff, he does kind of move like he's stuck in the mud. Sure, I think he's faster than you think he should be, but I don't think he's fast enough for the NFL to do that in the NFL. And I still think he's not quick at all. I don't see an NFL player. And people are wanting to get excited by the traits, but I don't think they translate. I watched 5 games. I might have seen one NFL throw a game, maybe 2 NFL throws a game, and I just don't think he can execute the NFL stuff. Not because he can't mentally, but because he physically can't be like he's not accurate when throwing to people running away, and that's just not going to work in the NFL. What might work in the NFL is all-time athleticism for the position. So we're going to be talking Taylor Green. I did think there were some things as a passer I liked on tape. They ran a very collegey offense. It was so collegey. There was nothing NFL to it, and a lot of the times he's throwing to people that are wide open. But you could see him hit people in stride. You could see him sling it with good velocity and sometimes with good touch on the intermediate portions of the field. There were things to be encouraged about as a passer, but this is a very quick conversation because there's a lot to work on. He is not where he needs to be, and holy shit, the pressure grade is alarmingly low. And I think some of that is because he is a immediate, there's pressure, I'm running or I'm scrambling and trying to run away from people. And holy shit, that's what he does well. The 4.36 40-yard dash, I think it was like a 1.55 10-yard split, the 43.5-inch vertical. People are going to want to turn this guy into receiver or tight end. That's fair. I think you give him a shot at quarterback. You give him a couple years to develop. There's things to like as a passer, and holy shit, he's so special as an athlete. If you know how to use that guy or you know how to develop quarterback play, this is the guy that probably will never be a starter in the league. Odds are in 4 years, someone ends up trying to just be like, hey, dude, we tried quarterback, didn't work. You're playing tight end, playing receiver. But if you hit on it, this guy ends up being the best player in this class. If you hit on it, if you can develop him, you'll probably need at least 3 years to do it. But if you can do it, this guy could end up being in 5 years, in 6 years, we go, wow, Taylor Green ended up being the best quarterback in the class because he is an all-time athlete. Or in 6 years, he's not even playing quarterback. Could be either one. The chance of him being the best quarterback in this class, the chance of him hitting are very low. That's why I have him ranked where I have him ranked. But holy shit, he could. And another guy that I think could become a starting quarterback in this league, who, like, I liked more. I wanted to like more and liked more than Nussmeier, but I ended up having lower just because I feel confident Nussmeier is going to be a good backup quarterback, and I thought he looked better, like, in the Senior Bowl than Klubnik looked at the Shrine. I have Klubnik lower because I think the floor is lower. He is a guy that could just not make it. But I think he's a really good athlete. I think he moves well. I think the anticipation needs to get better. He's a see it open, throw it guy. But if you can develop that anticipation, I think you have a start. I think he's a guy that could be a starter in the league. And like, he was much better last year. I don't like how hot and cold, hit or miss he is. I don't like only he had one good year of production. He's another guy. He was my number one player going into the year, and then it just everything at Clemson was bad. But that's another thing. Everything being bad at Clemson, do you give him some grace for that? He's pretty good deep passer. Was honestly pretty good under pressure too, like, just compared to a lot of the class. Um, I think he can be pretty accurate when things are going well, when things on time, and that athleticism. I do think there's a starting quarterback in there for Cade Klubnik. You don't know if you're going to get it. I have a 4th-round grade on him for that, but there's a starting quarterback. There's a higher ceiling with Cade Klubnik than there is with Garrett Nussmeier, and honestly, with Ty Simpson too. I think Cade Klubnik has a higher ceiling. If Cade Klubnik ended up being the second best player in this class in 4 years, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, a guy probably should go to a team like the Rams, the Vikings, someone that runs probably be good in like a Shanahan quarterback-friendly system, but he offers that athleticism. He offers the ability to get some yards on the run, also just to escape, to create on his own. There's things I like about Cade Klubnik. He just needs to do it more consistently, and he needs to develop better anticipation. If he can do those things, I actually do like Cade Klubnik a lot. If, like, everything pans out, he could be the second best player in this class, but also, like, there's too much of a risk that he's bounces around teams and bounces around the league, and isn't even really that number 2 guy. That's going to do it for my class for this video. For all my positional rankings, next set of videos we're going to do the all punk rock team, and maybe after that, I think is we're going to do our 1st-round mock draft. I'll probably also put together a video of guys I'm out on, guys I would take off my board. Maybe I'll do that before the mock draft. I don't know. We'll see. But those are the next few videos we're going to do, and then we are going to get to my top 32 rankings done before day 1 of the draft. That's it for me, though, today. Please like and subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel. My name is Dirty D from Dirty D, and I hope you have a great rest of your fucking day.